Witcher or not, you've still to bust your bum.
My health. It's all I ask for.
Dump it out your rampant fart to finish.
Better to die of drink than of boredom. How goes it, friend?
You can all go suck an egg.
I'm my own master with a bottle in front of me. It's no disaster.
Whose notion of order is this? Why doesn't someone do something?
Eh, brother?
Witcher? Was that truly necessary? And our gnats without the chopped liver? The world these days.
Whose notion of order is this? Why doesn't someone do something?
What's this about?
Ah, the notice. Is that it? Are you a Witcher, master?
Noises at the cemetery. You the one they bother?
Yes, and I'm alone in that, it seems. That is, no one else has bothered to take any steps, though all must hear the racket. I took the matter up with the ducal guard. They claim they found nothing, but I'm not sure they even bothered to look. What's left for me to do? Should I sniff about the cemetery myself?
The noises, they pretty regular?
Each night. I live next door. I hear it loud and clear, as if through a horn someone had stuck in my ear. Ah! Hawk! Ooh! Firk! And then wag! Thud! As if a mother bear slammed pate first into a cupboard.
Know exactly what you mean. How much'll I get for this?
How much would you like? I don't believe I have that amount. What would you say to a festival discount? On account of the, tourney. Agreed.
Fine, I'll tend to it. Any victims? Someone go missing recently? Or are we just talking noises?
No one's come to harm, thank the gods. Why? Do you think it might be a monster?
Could be, but doesn't need to, though. Might also be grave robbers, tramps. Remains to be seen.
I can't rightly say what would be worse. Whatever the case, Godspeed, master.
To be born in Toussaint is to be born under a lucky star.
You lads are all the same. Yes? Hungry? Thirsty? Yes?
Here is the hero we have. Ooh la la.
Johnny, is that you?
hear anything, but might want to look around anyway. Tracks? Trampled grass and bloomers. Not the kind of moaning he meant, though.
You've no idea how I envy you.
A bosom in the hands, worth 4 on a wench. Ritbug, centennial foot and crabs.
May every door slam on your nose.
A bosom in the hands, worth 4 on a wench.
Noises could be coming from grave robbers. Can't know for sure, though. Need to wait till after dusk to confirm. Damn it. More fighting. Noises coming from the catacombs, it seems. So, noises coming from here. Not a soul. Strange. Doesn't look anything like a grave hack's lair either. Gold. be grave robbers. None worth their salt would have left this. Louis de Corentin. Died on the day of Saint Zoetham's remembrance. Noises started right around then. Pretty fresh. Funeral wasn't too long ago. Here lies Margot de Corentin. Smashed, as if someone threw it against the wall. No sign of monsters or grave robbers. Bit of a mess, that's all. Maybe this isn't the spot after all. Strange. Noise is clearly coming from that tomb. Impossible. Something's not right. Need to hide, see how things play out.
You'd rather lie about all day, flipping those cards like some dwarf. Disgusting.
Indeed. Far better to stand at the door of Lebioda's temple, mumbling prayers from dawn till dusk.
Ingrate, I prayed for you, that you would cast off the yoke of gambling.
Fine job you did of it. Seems the gods had also heard enough of your cackling. And you? Why are you here? This is a private conversation.
What's this argument about, anyway?
Sod off! Not your concern.
Could help you resolve it.
I know not your name, but you must help me. I refuse to spend eternity at the side of this heathen. Remove him from my crypt at once!
Slow down. What's the problem?
This is my crypt, and this saintly shrew harangues me even in death. An eternity of nagging, the misery!
I was blind and a fool to marry him. He's a slave to the cards, prepared to wager his own child on a round of Gwent.
Once, damn it, and as a jest! How many times must I explain? And who sank our fortune into some silly statue of Lebioda?
Piety. That was my cause. The prophet immortalized would have transformed this land of blasphemy and betting. How was I to know it was all a fraud?
Because I warned you some 500 times!
Quiet. Shut up, both of you. Look, if there's to be peace and quiet here, one of you's gotta go. Need to move one of you out.
Yes. Take him. Please. Do so. And I shall tell you where I hid his lucky Gwent cards.
What? I knew it was you! And now, you would evict me from my crypt, then pay for the deed with my cards! Blast it all! Had I those very cards at the tournament in Belhaven, I'd still be alive. It's your fault, you pox incarnate, that they stabbed me to death.
They murdered you for your debts. I had nothing to do with it.
Come, I heed this good book-thumping wench. Mind, I know well where she hid those cards. I'll tell you myself, as soon as you've removed her.
Need to think about it. All right, gotta move one of them out.
Thus spake the prophet Lepiota. Thou shalt not play for coin.
After which he promptly added, "For you shall have none left for me!"
Heretic, shut your mouth! I shall speak to you no more!
No, no, it is I who shall speak to you no more, you old tart!
No, wait. If you truly must do this, then please, at the least, deposit me somewhere pleasant.
All the same to me. Where do you want to go?
Take me to my mother's grave. It's in the old cemetery just outside the city walls. A lovely spot, almost on the lakeshore. The flora there, it's extraordinary, really.
Extraordinary flora. Where is it exactly?
Beneath the outspread arms of a chestnut, the tombstone bears my mother's name, Micheline Belrose. To think I failed to heed her when she warned me about that lout.
Who would have thought? Knights trading in wine, while some witcher guards the common folk. Who would have thought? Knights trading in wine, while some witcher guards the common folk.
Place Margot mentioned. So where's the grave? Under a chestnut, or so Margot claimed. Micheline Belrose. This is it. Wow, that's done.
Keep calm. Start no brawls.
My health. It's all I ask for.
Removed the urn with Margot's ashes, just like you wanted. Louis, you there?
Should have known he'd stand me up. All right, if that's how you want to play it.
Please, put me back. Yes, I'm a fraud. I lied to you. I've no notion where the cards are, but I shall think of something. Just wait. Got it. A swordsmith. Trentin's the name. I skinned him at Gwent once, but he had no coin, so he promised me the pride of his collection, a lovely blade. Finely fashioned. I passed on before I could get it, but you could collect it in my stead. Just tell him Louis de Corentin sent you.
The dead Louis de Corentin?
That could indeed prove problematic. But if... I know. The man's a gambler, inveterate. His wife forced him to seek help, a hypnosis or some such. She believes Trentin no longer touches cards, would wager her virtue on it. Were she to learn he still plays Gwent, well, he'd be in a deep doodaloo.
Thanks.
Lovely trifles.
When I was a young man, we adhered to certain morals, as one should.
If I was just
Keep calm.
a lowly guardsman.
Start no brawls.
The best steel in all of Toussaint. Take a gander.
Think you could craft something for me? Here to collect Louis de Corentin's sword.
Ha! That's rich. The Corentin's dead. Who are you? His brother? His lover? Louis never mentioned either.
Maybe so, but he told me a bit about you. Heard you used to play a little Gwent. Had a habit, in fact, till your wife helped you kick the addiction. Real treasure, wife like that.
Ah, the bumpoke! Ugh. Here I thought I might hang it over the mantle again, with Louis gnawing radishes from the underside. But it seems I must. So be it. The sword's yours. But don't leave me high and dry. Give me a chance to win back my dignity at least. Perhaps a round or three for coin?
What about the wife? Not afraid she'll...
In my home, what I say stands. Women have got no power. Besides which, the wife's away for a few days visiting her sister in Belhaven. So, shall we play?
All right, convinced me. Lay him out.
Happens to the best. It serves me right for challenging a stranger. To have such a deck, ah.
So long.
Ah, the serendipity. I'm so glad you're back. Oh.
Just a few more ledges, and I shall get drunk.
Slow and here in Beauclair, all right.
I just saw her grace summoned from the north.
If only I had the
Your man seeks a porridge. The covetous shall be cast into the all-consuming fire. The mighty shall fall from their height.
Hey there, I'm done. Cemetery ought to be real nice and quiet now.
To sleep in my own bed once more. The clogs has grown intolerably loud. The punters bellow like men possessed. One madman especially, always shouting, "Order in! Order in!" But tell me, at the cemetery, what was it? Beasts, as you claimed?
Yeah, really tough, demanding fight. Barely made it out alive.
Is it your codex? Forbids you from revealing the details? For the best, I dare say. There's a small premium for you. You've earned it.
Here's some free advice, Witchman. If you've no reason to live, live to spite them.
Yeah, drink, food, and what's they know?
Those noise?
Oh, there. What will he walk?
Do you like it here? Greetings.
The faint Gerald of Rivia, lover of riches and succubi.
Master Witcher, what luck to happen upon you.
Got work for me? New contract?
Of the contract in question, you acquitted yourself beautifully years past on your last sojourn in Beauclair. I was in a bit of a bind at the time, do you remember? Yet I swore a solemn vow to pay you in full one day.
Guess it rings a bell.
Sadly, you went on your way before I could settle matters with you. So I took your coin and placed it in an account for safekeeping.
What kind of account?
A savings account at Chanfanelli Bank. You need but walk in and withdraw. The sum must be rather substantial by now.
Thanks. Head over there first chance I get. Gotta stop by that bank.
One of the knights withdrew from the tourney. They say it was because of an itch he'd obtained at the bells. Quite hard to strike.
Keep calm! Start no pros!
Where are you skittering off to, Symphony?
Yes? Can I help you?
Catch 22.
Welcome to Chanfanelli Bank, where we look after your coin as if it were our own, and the customer's always right. How might I be of service?
Got an account here. Like to make a withdrawal.
Naturally. Your name?
Geralt of Rivia.
Wait a moment, please, while I find the relevant record. I'm afraid I can't help you. Extraordinary circumstances, you see. There's a note in the records. The account holder is dead.
That's inaccurate, as you can see.
It's some kind of mistake. The note is clearly in error. To reactivate the account, you'll need permit A38. For more information, please go to window number 1.
All right. Where's window number 1?
Welcome to Gianfinelli Bank, where we...
About my account, again.
Yes, how can I help?
There any way I could get this done quicker, without the permit, maybe?
Very sorry, but that's impossible. Circular N60, the latest, is very clear on the point. Permit A38 is absolutely necessary.
Got something else I need.
Yes?
Come by later.
Ever at your service, sir.
Permit A38. Good luck with that.
Welcome to Gianfinelli Bank, where we look after your coin as if it were our own, etc., etc. How can I help you, sir?
I'd like to reactivate my account, so I need a copy of permit A38.
Wrong window, I fear.
Happen to know where I can do it then?
Let me think. Perhaps upstairs, in records? Or downstairs in the archive? You must ask them, sir.
Do just that.
There's a catch.
Yes? Can I help you?
Catch 22.
What can I do for you? You cut the line, sir!
Sorry, gotta get through.
Hold there. What is this? Back off the queue, sir. You cut the line, sir!
Welcome to Gianfinelli Bank, where we look after your coin as if it were our own, and the customer is always right. How might I help you?
This where I get permit A38?
Naturally. Just hand me your Form 202, please.
Form 202? Just what are you trying to pull?
Sir, I'm not pulling anything. Just following procedure. Permit A38 can only be issued upon presentation of Form 202, as stated specifically in Ordinance N60. Please, go to window number 1.
Just came from there. Never mind. Be back shortly with Form 202.
Sir, jumping the queue. How dare you! You cut in front of me, sir.
Well, couldn't really give a crap.
You boor, you churl! I will not stand for this. Just you wait, I'll teach you some manners.
Go on, hit me.
Oh, gentlemen, if you wish to raise a ruckus, do it outside.
Outside, now!
Dorothy, man!
I wager 10 on the one on the right.
Poor simpleton, prepare to be humbled. I shall teach you the meaning of decency. Poor simpleton, prepare. Uncouth, petty bourgeois cuts in line, then resorts to fisticuffs.
It seems they've set...
You cut, I shall teach you the meaning of decency.
Oh,
Excuse me.
No safer place than a bank.
Come on. Where the hell'd she go? There, pomade. Need to follow the scent. Could be the lead I need.
I truly wonder who she got to
All in
lend
order?
her that much coins.
Welcome to Jan Fanelli Bank.
Yes? Can I help you?
So you see, she claims puffed sleeves will be in fashion next season.
Excuse me. Got something I gotta take care of at window
You
one.
cannot be serious.
I too find it hard to believe. For
Excuse me.
can you not see what it says there? We're on our break.
Celine, darling, sign this for me, will you?
Oh, there you are. Listen, there's something
We're on break.
Ah, you try to be polite, it just never gets through.
Got no choice, I guess. Need to wait till they're done with their break.
I was at home the other day, just sitting. When suddenly I opened the door, and who was there if not Lecture?
You must wait. They have their break now. So, what do you hope to get here, my friend?
Permit A38. Though, guess I need Form 202 as well now.
Form 202. Easy peasy. Certificate P. Now, that is a challenge. But, as we are both forced to wait, fancy a round of Gwent.
Why not? Let's lay him out.
Now, that I understand. I'll start arranging my deck. I see. Congratulations. As your prize, I shall reveal to you my foolproof method for cutting through this bureaucracy. Nothing ever comes of using the normal channels. I have seen them try everything. Magic, hypnosis, bribery. Nothing works.
Might as well go if nothing works. There's nothing I can do.
Be kind. Be pleasant. This and only this. The woman here, she sits at her window 12 hours each day without hearing so much as a good day from anyone. But muster up some flowers, some perfume. Well, you will resolve your matter lickety-split.
Right. Certainly worth a shot.
Good luck.
Yes? Can I help you? Summoning a witcher? Was that truly necessary? And are you...
Welcome to Chanfanelli Bank, where we look after your coin as if it were our own, etc., etc. How can I help you, sir?
Need Form 202 to get a copy of Permit A38. Do you know that? Couldn't have told me? Wasted a lot of time because of you.
Please, sir. There's no need to lose your temper. I thought it obvious and thus needed no stating. The form will soon be ready. Name and surname?
Geralt of Rivia.
Let me find it. Gedon, Gemel. Here it is. Geralt of Rivia. Sorry, sir, I cannot issue Form 202.
Excuse me?
The applicant in question has been declared dead, officially. Now, do tell me, sir, how am I to enter that into the ledger?
Gotta admit something before I go, though. Had an ulterior motive for coming here.
What motive?
To enjoy a bit of conversation with you. It's probably why I'll come back, then come back again. Until the day you give me a smile. That moment, that's what I'm waiting for.
Oh. You, sir, are quite the charmer. Ah, please, wait a moment. I shall fetch Master Cinfanelli. Perhaps he'll arrange something that excludes the paperwork.
You tell him dinna disturb, but no, always some bugger who can't stand to wait. Plough me, who's this? Hearty greetings, Master Geralt. You haven't paid us a visit in eons.
Been a bit busy, but I'm back now and I need your help with something.
Of course. Now do tell, how can I help you?
Got a problem with my account. Wanted to withdraw some coins, see, but...
Nae problem there, we'll get you paid up in a jiffy. Just gonna need to settle yon tiny wee trifle.
Heard that already. Permit A38, among others.
Oh, my hands are tied without them, Geralt. But I see you're a quick learner in the ways of banking. You'll get them in a heartbeat.
Chanfanelli, no more excuses. Pay out my coin, now.
Come on, Master Witcher, for why the ire? There's no need. We'll have it all for you. You just need to see the necessary documents.
Got a document right here means a hell of a lot more than any of your forms or permits. Have a look.
Her Enlightened Highness,
She's hired you.
Mm-hmm. And as her personal emissary, I demand access to my account, right now.
Aye, Master Witcher. This way. So how's the trade these days, Master Witcher?
Can't complain.
Good for you, because in our neck of the woods things are dark, dark shite. Wine sales are stuck in the muck and sinking deeper. It's the fucking wretched names, I tell you. Folk out with the duchy haven't any notion how to say Côte de Blessure and all that. It twists their tongues in bloody knots. Makes them ashamed to ask for it. Done. Deposit box 256. Last yin on the right.
What the hell's this, Cianfanelli? Box is empty.
Well, coins got to circulate. So when we learned you were dead, Master, we, circulated yours. Purchased stocks, bonds, invested in a few vineyards. Before we knew it, there was hee-haw left in the box.
Really ought to call it what it is. You robbed me, plain and simple.
Nay, Master Witcher, never. I wouldn't dare.
Oh, you'd dare. And now you'll answer for it. Open the gate.
Master Witcher, I'll pay it all back, every red copper. I swear it on my nana's beard.
Got a week, not 1 day more.
You shan't regret this, I swear. I'll rustle it up, have it ready for you in 7 days.
Mm-hmm. See you then.
You'd best behave, friend. You're in Beauclair, see?
Inscriptions in Elder speech. Salvation lies not in Dol Nevda, but in our hearts. Glory be to Eldarin. Damn. Professor's journal's long gone. Guess somebody else found out about it too. Should look around, see if I can find something else. Footprints. Narrow and shallow. Somebody small, light. Woman, maybe? Wonder where they lead. Professor certainly can't do much to help me with my search. Damn it, trail breaks off. Wonder if the grave robber learned more than I did. Won't learn anything else here. Map Triss sent me will have to do. Also, Epitaph mentioned both Eldarin and Dol Nevda, Valley of the Nine. Site marked on the map's all wet now. Sans Retour flows through there.
Must be where the Valley of the Mine once lay. Need to explore the location.
Come on.
Grave robber must have found something in Moreau's tomb to activate the entry portal. Wonder what surprises this place has in store. Implanted spikes. Sick sense of humor someone's got. course. Locked. Notes I found mention 4 protruding stones. Gotta press them somehow. Crossbow, maybe? Could try to hit them. Stench.
Did it.
Interesting as places go. Seems someone put a lot of thought into its design. Should look around. Gargoyle sure don't look willing to help.
Guest! Intruder! You are not done.
Figured as much. This just keeps getting better.
portal. Must be where Moreau had his lab. Guessing this man didn't come here willingly. Just need to pick an entry.
The 18th of Yule, year 1102. Today I begin my great life's endeavor, one greater and more significant than any I have thus far undertaken, for it relates to me personally, to myself and my son. When 15 years passed, a beast of the forest assaulted me. A witcher came to my aid, saved my life. I could not know that for said salvation, I would in the end pay by relinquishing any say as to my own son's fate. Had I the skill to turn back time, I would have done so, and perished rather than surrender to the Witchers my only son. But as it was, on the day when Jerome was taken, I swore an oath on my honor that I would recover my son. Today, following years of research and preparation, I have at last devised a device that allows me to study mutations. If the gods in their goodness grant me but a bit of favor, I shall find a way to reverse said mutations and restore Jerome to a normal life.
So, Professor wasn't out to enhance Witcher mutations, wanted to reverse them. Wonder if he managed, and if there's anything in it for me.
Observation 22. Despite applying a surfeit of toxic substances, significantly more than usual, the subject displayed no symptoms of overdosing. I believe this to be an effect of the mutations. Thus, a minor success. This mutation should allow Jerome better to tolerate toxicity. Observation number 30. The mutations do not set in at once. Curiously, they do not develop over a span of time. Rather, for a mutation to progress towards completion, the appropriate mutagen must be applied continuously. The subject does not bear this well, but I found a way to make the mutations less taxing, invasive. To the mutagen base, I add the albumin of a mutated giant centipede egg. Stored in a glass terrarium, the eggs do not develop, remain small. The eggs themselves are a sight to behold. Mutated, they are luminescent, emitting a wondrous glow. I can only hope my addition of the albumin will produce no significant side effects. Time will tell.
Crystal for this entry's missing. Might be somewhere. Should look around.
Years of experiments, research, sacrifice, all for naught. I have failed to achieve my defined objective. Each mutation I applied to my subjects proved ineffective when applied to Jerome. What I meant to cure him of his witcherism, that which I meant to restore to him a normal life, only deepened his mutations, further augmented his speed and strength, rendered him yet more inhuman. It seems my son must remain a witcher forever. I have failed. The time has come to abandon this place. Return home to Lydia. She may yet deign to take me back. The contraption and mutagens I leave here. Let them wither and crumble. As did my dreams of regaining my son.
So the professor wanted to reverse the mutation's effects. Ended up deepening them. Stroke of luck for me. Could profit from his failure. So, Professor tried to neutralize the effects of Witcher mutations. Only managed to enhance them, though. Used the albumins of giant centipede eggs as his mutagen base. Need to go on an egg hunt. Must have kept his son in here. Grim. Quite the library. Mostly tomes on mutations and genetics. Just need to pick an entry.
Observation 58. Sometimes failure is the catalyst for success. I've discovered a method by which one type of mutagen may be transmuted into another through the addition of certain ingredients. This is a great day for science. In addition, I observed that today's dose of mutagens brought the subject to the brink of death. He then suddenly awoke, revived, his strength renewed. Not wholly, of course, but he did in a sense come back from the edge of death. Whether this is attributable to his mutations or to pure coincidence cannot be ascertained. I must conduct further experiments.
Seen enough. preserved organs. Hope their donors weren't forced to give them up. No point going in wearing full gear. Gotta drop my armor, leave my weapons. Professor's mutagens might work on me as they did on his son. Well, time to find out. Power cell for portals. Feels dead. Maybe a sign will revive it.
Greetings!
That's it, Roach.
Not so fast, Roach. Faster.
Welcome home, sir. I am Barnabas Basil Fawlty. By order of the Duchess, I shall serve you as Major Domo of Corfu Bianco. I previously served with distinction at the Nibli family manor and in Nazaire with Admiral Rompali, who, as you are certain to know, is an extraordinary demanding gentleman.
Whoa, Barnabas Basil. One thing you ought to know, I'm not your typical landed gentleman. Truth be told, this is the first real property I've ever owned.
Oh, in that case, you must leave it all to me. I shall organize, see to everything, and whip the house into order. I dare say this place will soon be the most prosperous vineyard around.
Great. Can already see I'm in good hands. Vineyard comes across as a place with a rich history. Know who owned it before me?
Baron Rossel, who went bankrupt, forcing him to sell the estate to the Duchess. The Baron, in turn, had purchased it from Monsieur Bolius of the Headsman, a truly colorful man of Ketweni origin.
He was actually a headsman?
No, not him, but his great-great-great-great-grandfather. Indeed. Apparently, he was a common cut-purse who somehow secured for himself the post of ducal headsman in Beauclair. Went about his work with an exceptional penchant. They say he chopped off more heads than there are grapevines in the ducal vineyards. He never hesitated, not once. Never sliced unevenly, never botched a job. For his exemplary service, the Duke granted him a title and this estate. Monsieur Bolius, on the other hand, was an engineer in his younger years. Once retired, he settled here and took to producing wine. Sadly, misfortune struck and he lost his sense first of smell, then of taste. Additionally, he could not drink alcohol. His medic forbade it.
Shame that. He gave up making wine?
Not at all. He made even more of it. Began throwing wild balls to which he'd invite friends from far and wide in order to treat them to his wine and delight in the fact that at least someone could enjoy it. It's the sort of man he was, Monsieur Bolius.
Mind giving me a little tour de Corvo Bianco?
Not in the least. Follow me, please. I think it would be practical to begin on the hill. Behold, sir, your estate in all its splendor.
Pretty vast.
Indeed. And now, sir, allow me to show you a handful of interesting details. Follow me, please.
Been a major domo all your life?
Yes, I come from a long line of major domos. My father was a major domo, as was my grandfather before him, as was my great-aunt. In fact, she was the one to start the tradition.
Great-aunt?
A hard woman. It is said that already as a child, she knew where she was going and went there. When she arrived in Beauclair, she signed on as a chambermaid at one of the vineyards, then slowly worked her way up to major domo. She dragged the rest of the family up the same path. The servants' quarters. I occupy the green home. With the Duchess's permission, I have hired a full staff. Their salaries to be paid from the ducal treasury.
Nice of her.
Not the most sightly part of the estate, I admit. But I think it's worthwhile for you as master of the domain to know where the help stays. Baron Rossel ordered the vines in this part of the estate uprooted and olive groves planted in their place. They look beautiful, especially come spring.
Don't look at all bad now, either.
Down below lies your vineyard, where we grow a strain of Carfanere, one of the world's oldest. Aged in oak barrels, it provides for an exquisite wine with distinct blackberry, wild cherry, plum, and cinnamon notes. Marvelous.
Have to try it one of these days.
If my lips don't stink of wine, my wife won't know they're mine. You've spread
Nice
some
well.
nastiness.
Picturesque.
Yes, though it ran dry long ago. During the raucous feasts Master Bolius held, he would order it filled with wine. There's a tale about a guest attending a Bolius ball for the first time and thus unaware of the custom. He had suffered great heartbreak and had decided to end his life by jumping into the well. The festivities were coming to a close, and the well was nearly empty when the suicidal guest finally jumped. Instead of killing himself, he merely broke his legs. To numb the pain, he drank the wine.
Drank himself to death?
Not at all. When found the next day, he had concluded he'd witnessed twin miracles. The water had been changed into wine, and he had survived. He retired to a monastery in the Dragon Mountains and began preaching the wisdoms of Leviola. Monsieur Bolius, his wife Nina, kept a garden here. A supremely lovely place it was.
Bit neglected now.
I agree. Yet nothing stands in the way of restoring it to its former glory, and once again planting it with herbs and other vegetation. Madame Nina planted diminutive, delicate flowers and herbs here. One might say their aroma still hangs in the air.
You're quite the romantic, Barnabas Basil.
The Dutch is small, but do you know any who's not?
This served as an additional wine cellar in years of plentiful harvests.
Bit of work and it'll make a fine stable for Roach.
Our knights errant? They're so heroic.
The cellars, voila. During Monsieur Bolis's time, wine was kept here, but Baron Rossel used it to store olive oil as well. I took the liberty of cleaning up the mess, which
I made while fighting the Bruxa. Thanks, Barnabas Basil. Appreciate it.
As you can see, the facade is, how to put it, slightly stained. But one cannot deny it, a certain subtle southern charm.
True, though it could use a bit of subtle paint.
And welcome inside. On the left is the master bedroom. On the right, the dining hall and kitchen. Upstairs, you shall find the guest room, currently used for storage.
Not a bad idea.
At the moment, the house is only minimally furnished. Yet I believe we will, together, devise some innovative arrangements. A few paintings, for instance, would breathe new life into the abode immediately. With that, sir, you've seen the full lay of the land. Corfo Bianco is a beautiful estate. Though one must admit, time has taken its toll. Forgive me for being forward, but if you were to choose to invest a small sum towards its beautification, consider me at your service on the matter.
Think I'll take you up on that. Be sure to come and see you if I decide to do any remodeling. Mentioned the place could stand to be spruced up.
Oh, most decidedly, sir. The question is where you would like to begin this rejuvenation.
Been thinking about the outer walls. Maybe a fresh coat of paint or some patching.
If I might dare to make a suggestion, why not start with a general renovation? I once oversaw such work at Admiral Rompelli's summer residence. The effects were simply breathtaking. Not only did the residence positively sparkle afterwards, but we also made room to display the Admiral's armor and weapons, of which he was a passionate collector.
It's in your hands then. Make the place shine.
I shall get to work immediately. Within a day's passing, I shall have sent for the crew which rebuffed the Admiral's residence. They are the finest specialists around. Highly skilled at what they do, it shall not take them too long, I wager. 2 days after they begin, your eyes will behold your residence in its refurbished, rejuvenated, beautified state. Is there anything else you require, sir?
Got these spacious grounds. But maybe it's time to make them more... useful.
Oh, yes. We certainly should. The way I see things, given your trade, sir, you would be wise to put in a grindstone and an armorer's table. A good way to start things off, don't you think?
My armor needs work from time to time. You know, oil this, reinforce that. Could use a decent work table where I could do all that.
Admiral Rompelli once hired a specialist who made the finest armorer's tables this side of the Yaruga. I will contact him at once.
Good. Order me up a table like that.
Immediately, sir. I expect it will take at most 1 day to arrive. Will you be needing anything else, sir?
In my trade, my blades get dull pretty quick. Could use a grindstone, professional grade.
Of course. No one would consider that an unnecessary extravagance, I would wager.
Then send out for one, please. A high-quality stone to be set up in the yard.
Of course. I shall send a runner to town at once. I believe you shall be grinding to your heart's content by tomorrow. Will you be needing anything else, sir?
Know what? Changed my mind. Not in the mood to talk about redecoration today. But I wanted to ask you something else.
I shall be glad to answer your every question, sir.
Vineyard comes across as a place with a rich history. Know who owned it before me?
Baron?
He was...
No, sadly...
Shame that.
Not a...
Thanks. Gotta get back to my business now. See you soon.
Every day. Why?
Unbelievable.
Just you wait. A year on and some tosser will have invented the wankers of the Novigrad faction.
Shijin, leave it the fuck alone! Get your minging mitts off our fucking...
Welcome.
On him.
There you are.
Honestly, not one of my favorites.
Yet I believe you will easily win the tournament wielding it.
Any specific tournament rules? Mind giving me an overview?
Firstly, might I introduce Eric as the...
Nope!
Ready to start if everybody else is.
I invite you to join me on the terrace. The herald shall...
Let it and...
Let's grab a table.
A wager.
What did you have in mind?
Weapons do I collect, and your sword of silver my eye has caught. Should I win, I should take it. Should I lose, to you another equally...
Sword's how I earn my keep. Can't risk it, won't. I say we play for the normal stakes. Congratulations.
And my keep.
Enough. As that
Jin.
with round.
Thank you.
It stop.
Scoot.
Get out of here before my patience runs thin.
Hear that? Gutter size threatening us. Only one answer to verbal aggression of that sort.
Once more, I beg and plead, be calm.
Shut your yap, Monier.
Enough of this! Didn't come here to jabber, but to break fucking heads in defense of tradition! Come on, lads!
Choice.
Let's plow this discussion with the horse's heads. I'll climb the cunts and dance on the bits. Let's plow this new faction with the horse's heads.
Had enough? Still got the urge to add new factions?
Enough! I shall summon the guard.
I got this, Count. Sure, you can shut this tournament down, but there'll be another, with who knows what new rules. If you don't like them, don't enter. Play somewhere else however you want, but you'll never stop other folk from playing however they like.
Bollocks!
Like my good friend Zoltan Chive says, if one says you're talking bollocks, they could be right, they could be wrong. But if multiples say you're talking bollocks, well, you... Zoltan's just fine.
Attention, everyone.
I'd
agree.
In Skellige one.
Let well played.
Yep. Come on, lad.
Thank.
Don't think that went exactly as you planned.
What matters is we played great. I presented the Skellige faction. I'm sorry you did not manage to qualify for the finals. I'd hoped to face you, but participation alone counts for something. Here, a consolation prize.
Thanks.
Thank you once more for deigning to take part in my little tournament. I hope we shall meet again.
Who knows? Farewell.
You are the famed Geralt of Rivia, are you not?
A witcher in Beauclair? That's queer. Wonder what brings him here. A witcher in...
Regis! Damn it. Locked. No way I got the place wrong. This is it. Gotta be. Gotta be another way in around here. Victuals are plenty around here. Agreed to meet a vampire at a cemetery. How much more cliché can you get?
Nothing comes readily to mind.
Could have left the door unlatched.
What of my privacy? I value it rather deeply. Unmolested, especially by unwanted guests, that's my preferred state. Besides, I knew you'd find a way to get in.
True enough. Need to find your friend. I'm hoping you'll agree to help.
I shall do whatever's in my power. Yet what you want or even need must matter little. What matters is what Dettlaff wants. If he does not wish to be found, you will not find him. Ever. End of story.
Come on. Gotta be some way.
Vampires can evade detection by the senses, and no divination magic works on us. Even the most precise megascope would be useless.
And this? Could this help?
Wherever did you get that?
Off one of the beast's victims, found by a bend in the river. Body was chopped in pieces. 3 of those pieces were hands. Hand with the ring seemed the odd one out. Abruxa had taken an interest in it.
It's Dettlaff's hand, without a doubt. It will do splendidly.
The hand. What do you plan to do with it?
You've heard of Kovinaris' theory of tissue memory retention.
Rings a distant bell. Read about it in Alchemia Oblitera. There's a copy at Kaer Morhen, tattered, nearly disintegrated. But if memory serves, Kovinaris never managed to prove it worked.
He did prove it, just never managed to publish his findings. He and I corresponded, you see, after we became friends. Thus, I know he completed his research and performed the first tests. It's complicated, so without delving into details, it is possible to use any piece of tissue to reconstruct what a whole body experienced.
How's it work? We need any special equipment?
We must brew a decoction which Kovinaris gave a rather poetic name, resonance. Once imbibed, it sends one into a trance similar to that induced by narcotics. This triggers visions of events linked to strong emotions experienced by the tissue's owner. Picture it as dreaming a fragment of someone's life.
Any chance we might see what Dettlaff was doing just before he lost his hand?
Indeed. Though I also hope resonance will reveal the location of Dettlaff's hideout.
Ring's pretty intriguing. Made of no metal I've ever seen. And the ornamentation.
It comes from our home, where we lived before the conjunction of spheres. It's actually mine. I received it from a dear old friend. You might call him a humanist. He saw us vampires as guests here, guests who owe their hosts, meaning you humans and the elder races, respect.
Respect? Meaning not to treat us like cattle to be slaughtered for food?
Precisely. And the reason why I, in turn, gave it to Dettlaff. To remind him of the ideals my old friend championed.
Can't you just summon Dettlaff? You're both hired vampires, there's gotta be a way.
If I'm to be entirely candid, there is indeed one. But believe me, we will be better off never availing ourselves of it. It is a last resort. Absolutely.
Last resort? The hell? Why?
There is a being who can summon Dettlaff. Possesses the authority, even the power, to force him to appear in a given place. But the very act of contacting this being, well, it's akin to walking a slack line extended over a chasm filled with molten lava. An exercise as perilous to me as it would be to you. A risk I'm unwilling to take. I beg you, let's do it my way. It will be both quicker and easier.
Kovinaris spent half his life proving his theory. Wild guess. Making a dose of resonance won't be easy.
You guessed correctly. In addition to Dettlaff's tissue, we shall need a powerful occipital lobe stimulant. Effectively a poison, to make one susceptible to visions.
Well, got a few ingredients to choose from. Unfortunately, all are pretty rare. There's Mamoon glands, but closest ones I know of are in Vizima. A spotted white saliva would also serve, but they were cold to extinction over a century ago. Could go with a kobold's eyes, but the creatures are sentient. Rather not gouge one's eyes out.
Given that we lack the time to sleuth this out ourselves, permit me to summon some help.
What was that?
A raven? Rather a common sight at this latitude. Very intelligent fowl. I asked him to look for the creatures you mentioned, him and his brethren. Perhaps they'll find one in the area, and I would hazard that a flock of ravens will spy any said creature faster than a solitary witcher would. With all due respect to your skills, my friend. It will take them some time, nonetheless, so perhaps you'd care for a snifter of mandrake.
Rarely say no to a snifter.
Sadly, this is but a weak infusion rather than a proper distillate.
Even better. I remember your mandrake hooch. Made people say things they'd have rather kept to themselves.
Now, what could Geralt of Rivia prefer to keep to himself?
Everyone's got some secret.
I agree wholeheartedly. I also believe it wise at times to share one's secrets, unburden oneself to those one can trust.
This your sophisticated way of asking me if I trust you?
I prefer almost always to ask indirectly. It seems a test of intelligence, one you just passed.
Maybe you should go first. Reveal one of your secrets. After all, you vampires lead very interesting lives.
Anything in particular interest you?
Curious what you did after you were reborn.
As I'm sure you can surmise, but first I was thoroughly absorbed with recovering. As it is, I've still not recovered completely. Yet I was so weak the first year that I could not stand nor move on my own. Detlef bore my weakness bravely, showed great patience. If not for him, I wouldn't be here, and I'd have regenerated far slower. Once I could at last stand unassisted, I set off for Bruges, for my one-time home of Dillingen. There I led the peaceful life of a rural healer and surgeon, enjoying my neighbours' respect and, in fact, constituting the exact opposite of the monstrous vampire the populace imagines.
Bruges, you say? Rebirth make you sentimental?
Perhaps a dash. But what of you? Where have you been? Ever find your Cyrilla?
Back then, yeah. But we parted again soon after. Gotta ask you the big question, one everyone wonders about. What happens after death?
You wish me to tell you if the human belief in the gods is well founded? Well, that I do not know. We vampires differ exceedingly from you humans. Our matter, that of which we are composed, can exist without form. We require neither a heart, nor a brain, nor air to breathe.
But were you dead?
As humans understand death, yes.
Feel anything? Understand anything?
It's rather hard to explain. I felt something very unsettling. Something I cannot even name, for I did no reasoning. Only after rebirth did I begin to understand that what I had felt was cold and unimaginable fear. If not for Detlef, I might have drowned in an eternity of icy terror.
Can't have been alive then. Sheesh, experience like that must be vicious.
Indeed, it's hard to compare to anything I know. Yet you are aware we don't see death as you do. The way you cling to life, we find it entirely peculiar. You are mortals, ergo it's a foregone conclusion. You will die. It's but a question of time. Thus, I often find myself wondering why you try so very hard. To die at 20 years, 40, even 100, what's the difference? They're all but the blink of an eye.
Depends on your point of view. Man who's got 1,000,000 crowns to spend can't possibly understand one who's only got 20.
Very true. One's outlook can indeed change much.
Got a new life, a new body. That give you a new start? Blank slate?
Starting all anew is a very broad concept. What exactly do you mean?
Your blood addiction, say. Wondering if your body's the same, if it still remembers. Maybe if you drank now, you wouldn't get hooked.
All addictions are a form of slavery. Re-addiction's not a risk I'm willing to take, just to test a hypothesis about corporeal regeneration and whether propensities carry over.
Fair enough. Curiosity, that's all. Sorry.
Not to worry, Geralt. Curiosity is a natural reaction under the circumstances, apart from which I've always valued that trait in you.
Always fascinated me the way vampires can regenerate. The hand growing back is one thing, but Detlef recreating you out of a wet smear? Something else entirely.
A difficult and laborious process, but one that's possible, as my presence proves. But I've heard you too had quite the adventure. They say you lost your memory.
For a bit, but Triss helped me get it back. Actually, pretty damn lucky I only had amnesia.
Yes, you humans are rather buggered in those terms. To strip you of life is, well, it's just plain easy. I've always pitied you in that regard. We vampires are much harder nuts to crack. If a member of another race kills one of us, we can be reborn with a living higher vampire's help. However, if one of our own strikes the deadly blow, death is permanent. There can be no rebirth. One of the chief reasons why vampires long ago swore never to fight one another.
All right, give you one question. What do you want to know?
One question to ask one as fascinating as you, Geralt. Cruel parsimony, I'd say, but I shall do my best to make it count. If you were to die and be reborn as I was, in your new life, would you choose to be a witcher?
That's what interests you most? Whether I'd like to be a witcher again?
Many things interest me, but we've not much time left. Please answer.
Never chose to be a witcher. Fate chose for me. Had it been my choice, I'd have picked a different profession. A profession where I wouldn't have to risk my life every minute of every day. Maybe even one that had earned me some respect.
Thank you for being honest. Honesty is an attribute of the truly brave, and thus a privilege of the very few.
Still no sign of your winged friend. Sure it understood what you wanted?
Dead certain. Let's wait a bit longer. It'll return soon, don't doubt that for a moment. Ever vigilant, even in his sleep. Quite vampire-like, in fact. Are you absolutely certain they don't administer a few of our genes during the trial of the grasses?
Far as I know, none. Now what you got for me?
You were right. No kobolds or mamoons for miles around.
Knew it.
Allow me to finish. You see, there's this spotted white. It haunts an abandoned residence in the Caraberta woods.
Impossible. My brethren hunted down every last spotted white before I was born.
Then it seems you must revise your knowledge of spotted whites. For somehow this one managed to survive your brethren's onslaught. It seems I know this home it haunts. Recall a tale about it. Locals believe the place cursed. Perhaps that's how the whites survived, entirely unmolested.
Know anything else about this curse?
I don't recall much in particular. Really don't attach much importance to such things. It was mentioned to me as an anecdote, no more.
Come on, search your memory. Something, anything could be important.
I believe it had a relation to hunger, or, perhaps greed, rapacity. Someone was punished for something...
Textbook definition of a curse, pretty much.
Sorry, Geralt, I try not to clutter my mind with the details of every far-fetched tale I happen to hear. What are your thoughts?
A specimen of a species thought long extinct, and a curse in one place. That a coincidence, or are they related?
Ah, professional curiosity. Personally, I've nothing against you delving into this dilemma, but please remember we need the whites' saliva. Nothing beyond that.
Whites rarely appear in the woods, even less likely to find them in abandoned human homes. They inhabit remote wildernesses, old abandoned cemeteries.
What's your point?
This might not be a spotted white after all. Your little helper might have made a mistake.
I sincerely doubt it. Ravens are devilishly intelligent creatures, and they've highly developed observational skills.
What exactly did they observe?
The area around the estate. It's covered in spoons.
Spoons?
Spare me the skeptical smile. I'm but the bearer of this news. Or perhaps this spotted white is a hoarder. Or the spoons are somehow related to the curse.
Let's do this. Start making your decoction while I go get some saliva from that white. Uses it in its brews.
Do you imagine the white will simply sell you some?
Worst case scenario, I'll bring you its salivary glands. They ought to do as well.
For a moment there, I imagined you asking the white to spit into a vial. Quite amusing as a thought, but the salivary glands will do fine indeed.
So, see you later.
Yes, till later. I shall start by perusing some tomes.
Tomes? Thought you were gonna make this decoction.
We require one last ingredient. Alas, obtaining it could prove a trifle toilsome. Thus I hope to identify a suitable alternative.
All right. Good luck.
And to you, my friend.